Hi, good evening everybody. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. Finally a video, and finally I'm back. And I want to talk a little bit about a few things here, guys, today. The game starts in a few hours, so I want to give my take on that and try to get this video up before the game, okay? I was going to wait till the series is over before even making videos again, but I figure, you know what? No, I want to talk about this game before it happens. This is historic, guys. Before that, there's some things I want to talk about, guys. I want to go over a bit of a list here I made, so we'll get on this and talk about it. The number one thing on the list, the Skinner buyout. We're going to know, I put by Thursday morning. We'll know by Thursday morning. We got to wait till, as you guys know, most of you know, 48 hours after the Stanley Cup Finals is over, which is tonight. So mathematically speaking, we could find out by like midnight on, you know, I'm putting we'll know by Thursday morning. If the Sabres intend on buying out Skinner, I want to show you the two scenarios, guys. Let's take a look at them. I clipped them both out. All right, here's how it looks right now. Take a look. Okay, the important thing for us, it's not coming out of our pocket. We buy out these last 3 years. You see at the bottom, annual cap hit 1.44. The second year, 4.44. The big year, 6.44. And then 3 consecutive years, guys, of 2.44 after Skinner's contract would have been over with. So we have a 6-year commitment, okay? So 6 years of dead cap, of buyout money that has to be. But I was talking before, I think it makes a much better sense to buy him out next year. What if this year he has a 30-goal season? We can live with this contract, is my point. You know, we can. Let's take a look at what it would look like if we buy it out next year. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, we will be buying out 2025, 26, 26, 27. We'll be buying out those 2 years. Look at the bottom, the actual cap hit for those 4 years will still be painful, which would be 4 and 6, then 2 and 2. So we still have 4, a 6, which I think we could live with at that point. We'd have to, because it's been a bad contract, guys. It's been a bad contract. 2 and 2. So we've got, instead of a 1.4, a 4.4, a 6.4, a 2.4, 2.4, 2.4, we have a 4.0, a 6.0, a 2.0, 2.0. So the 4 and the 6, my point is, in this whole thing, we can't escape it. All right, I could live with the 1.4 this year. That doesn't hurt at all because we're going to have that $9 million in cap space open. And next year, 50% of the cap space will be open. The 6.4 is where you get a slap and you know, basically a slap off the head saying, you guys are idiots. You never should have signed this contract to start with. It's not so bad, really. So if we're going to buy him out, and we buy him out this year instead of next year, mathematically, it doesn't make that much of a difference, not that much. You have that extra 2.4 to deal with. You know, you guys tell me what you think on that one. Okay, the draft is on Friday. Will we trade the pick? I want to talk about the draft now. Will we trade the pick? That's the question, the lingering question. Are the Sabres going to trade their pick this year? I think they're going to. We're due, you know, I'm a big believer in sports. Things are due to happen that haven't happened in a while. And the Sabres have not traded away their first round pick in quite a while this close to the draft. So this is something that I could see the Sabres doing. We'd have to get some sort of return that can help us next year. I think we know this. We're looking at a top 6 forward would be the ideal comeback in that, you know, if we give up a first rounder. Or do we get somebody to take the Skinner contract somehow and throw this in as a sweetener? That's a possibility. Just saying, it's a possibility. There's 3 years left of $9 million. You know, the Sabres maybe eat, let's say, 20% of it, and then we don't really feel it. Let's say we take 25% even. We don't feel it as much as the 4 and the 6, you know? We lose the first rounder, mind you. So we'd have to make that, and I don't want to see this thing stretch into 6 years We just got rid of the Hodgson contract. It wasn't a lot, but I just hate looking at dead cap and seeing somebody there who hasn't played on our team in years, guys. This is what worries me. So, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, look, it's been a horrible contract from day one. I got no problem myself if they keep Skinner on the team. I'll just say it. I think he could still pop in 25 to 30 goals. We can live with it, deal with it, and maybe on the last year of the contract, even then I looked at it, it's not worth buying out at that point. It's really not. So we'll see. If we didn't buy out Okposo, I don't see why we've got such a desire to buy out Skinner. I mean, the Okposo contract was horrible, guys. Horrible contract. Yeah, it was like 6.5, but it was like, you know, if you look at, let me check, God, speaking of Okposo, we're going to talk about that in a sec, guys. My God, what is going on with Florida? Can you believe this? Honestly, can you actually believe this is happening? Let me close that. All right, Okposo was making 6. My bad. I'm thinking of O'Reilly. Okay, I'm getting mixed up. O'Reilly was 7.5 if I'm right. I get mixed up with the halves. All right, so Okposo was making 6. Let me get back to that. The draft on Friday, I haven't really done much draft videos because I honestly believe we're trading the pick. I really do. I haven't been making many videos, period, anyway, though. So, but if you're to ask me, I think we're going to trade that draft. Just a gut feel. I think we're going to do it. We've made it public. We're open to trading it. I think a lot of teams are going to be knocking on the door trying to get that pick off of us. Number 3, UFA opens July 1st, guys, 1 week from today. How aggressive will we be? I honestly believe, guys, it depends on Jeff Skinner. If we get rid of that contract, I think the Sabres will be super aggressive in free agency, and I can see them. I could see this happening. So if the Sabres can somehow, some way muster up the courage, I guess is the word, and actually do this and go through with this and say, you know what, we're going to eat it. We're going to get rid of this contract finally. $9 million, guys, is way overpayment for Jeff Skinner. I've known it from day one. I've never hit it on this channel. It's a horrible overpayment, but for a guy that should be making like 5.5, really, at this point in his career, he's worth about half of what that contract is right now, probably. And I guess it just is what it is. We'll have to see if we do it, you know. But if we do, I believe in free agency, we're going to be super aggressive. We're going to go after every single need that we have. We're going to have a lot of cap space open. We already do, guys. We already have a lot of cap space open. Before I jump on the finals, guys, I just want to jump on that for a second. I really do believe that if the Sabres actually go through with this, then we're not just going to sit on the cap space. We're going to use it. Right now, as it stands, we got 9 guys signed. Okay. This is really much for another video, though, guys. But we're sitting on 22.6 in cap. I'm adding an extra 7,000. 22.6 in current cap space right now this second, 22.6. If Skinner's contract is taken off, then we're at 31.6. Take away, let's say, the 1.6 because of the cap, the dead cap that we're going to incur. So say we'll have about 30 million in cap, and we'll have to get 10 guys signed with that 30 million. So we can very well get a few youngsters on the team at minimum, at entry level, and we can take it from there and figure out what I'm saying is we can take, I'd say, about 12 million of that cap and be very aggressive in free agency. We'll see. We'll see if they do it. All right, guys, and the number 4 thing I want to talk about in this video, final thoughts on the finals going into a historic Game 7, guys. Now, I've thought about this over and over and over. I've played every scenario in my head, and I can't give you an answer who I think is going to win. I'm going to stick with my prediction. I predicted, as any of you remember, as Game 7, overtime, Florida. That's who I picked to win the Stanley Cup this year. I picked Florida to win Game 7 in overtime. And I think I said Tkachuk would be the hero. Or it could be McDavid. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I think we're going to have, I've been saying it for years, we're eventually going to have a Game 7 in overtime in the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe this is the year. Maybe it happens this year. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what happens with that. Now, going into this, here are the thoughts that go through my head. Because the first time Gretzky got to the finals, he lost. The first time Crosby got to the finals, he lost. Who else can I put on that list? Or won the first time. Lemieux won the first time. Yzerman lost the first time. Also, Steve Yzerman lost. You might recall Jersey beating them 4 straight in 95. Lost. Could be somebody I'm just not thinking of. Somebody else I'm not thinking of. But here's something, though, to think of going into this game today. The first time Bobby Orr ever played a game where he could win the Stanley Cup, which was Game 4 against St. Louis, right? They won in overtime, the famous goal where he's diving. They won. The first time that now who else am I not thinking of? I've got a phone call coming in. Some 888 number, guys. I get these numbers all the time. I'm looking at, let's talk about Gretzky. First time Gretzky got there, like I said, he lost. But the first time Gretzky got there with a chance to win the Stanley Cup, his first game he ever played in his life to win the Stanley Cup was Game 5 in 84. They closed it out. Lemieux in 91, Game 6 against the North Stars. They closed it out. Lemieux's first chance of his career to win a Stanley Cup, they closed it out that night. So Orr, Gretzky, Lemieux all closed it out on the games where they had their first chance to win the Cup. Maybe not first finals, but first chance. I'm playing tonight, I can win the Stanley Cup. Then you got Crosby. His first chance to win the Cup, they won. Because they won in 7 in 09, but you might recall they were down 3-2 in that series. So Game 6 they won, but they couldn't win the Cup till Game 7. Crosby, his first chance, they won the Cup. Ovechkin, his first chance ever in Game 5 against Vegas. They won the Cup. So you guys are seeing the pattern here. When these type of players like McDavid get this chance, they usually win. The flip side to that is that Florida also can win the Stanley Cup tonight. Let's not forget that, kind of like Detroit in 09. But Detroit had won so many cups at that point, it was unforeseeable that it could happen that sooner or later a team's going to beat them. This is different. This is a team that hasn't had much luck in the past. I don't know. I just don't know what to think going into this game. I'll be straight with you guys. I don't know what to think. I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to say Florida's going to win in overtime. But am I feeling it? Nah, I don't know. I just don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I'm pulling for Florida. I am, guys. And people are Canadian won't understand that. Well, they've never won a cup. That's why. That franchise has never won the Stanley Cup. Edmonton's got 5 in their history. Yeah, it's been 34 years, but I've got to pull for the team that's never won. I've got to. That's just the way I am as a fan. And the truth is, guys, I hate to see anybody lose today. It's going to be tragic somebody loses tonight. That's how I'm going to feel about this game. I hate to see anybody lose in this game. So I'm going to say Florida's going to win in overtime today. I'm leaving it there. All right, guys. If there's any name I forgot of the greats, I can tell you, though, that Mike Bossy, his first shot at the Cup, they lost. They were up 3-1 in 1980, went back to Philly, and I forget the score. I think they got hammered like 8-3 or something. They got hammered in Philly, and Philly extended that to Game 6, back to Long Island for a Game 6 before Nystrom's overtime goal. So it's a tough call. Can you guys really imagine Connor McDavid playing in this game and not winding up winning the Stanley Cup today? I have a hard time believing that, to be honest, guys. I have a hard time believing that Connor McDavid fought his way back into this series and the Oilers to just lose tonight. But sports is a cruel thing sometimes. It's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed tonight, so we'll see. I just hope we see a good game. I hope it's not Whoever wins this game, I hope it's not a bad call. I hope it's called right. No stupid calls, no dumb penalties. You know, I want to see this end right, this one. So that's where I stand, guys. I'm leaving it there. I got my little friend, come here. I'll let her say hi, and then I'm gonna go take my back, which is killing me. There's little Rosie, guys. There she is. She's fine. Everything's fine. My daughter's due on the 9th, so we'll see where that goes. That's another thing that I'm dealing with. You know, my daughter's pregnancy is coming around the corner, guys. It's coming around the corner. So my days of not being a grandfather are running out. All right, you want to go down? There you go down. My back is killing. Sorry, Rosie. I'm not going to bend all the way. Guys, done. I'll see you guys soon enough. I should be making some videos now, especially it's going to be a busy week for the Sabres with the draft, unrestricted free agency, the potential Skinner buyout. This is all coming in the next days to come. It's going to be busy Buffalo talk finally again on this channel. So I'll see you then. And who you going for tonight, guys? Let me know. See you soon.